Okay, but I'm just going to get started. I think I've seen some of your homework and I've also given comments on your accounts. Okay, so we'll move on to what we are going to cover for today. As you can see on the screen, the learning objectives are idioms. We're going to learn more about idioms today. Okay, but as we go along, we are also going to go through some of the questions that are found in your homework. Okay, so we've done grammar MCQs. We are going to do your vocab MCQs and then also your grammar cloze. So all these, okay, I think you can, the grammar cloze, this one, these are all found in your paper 2. Paper 1 is your essay writing, right? Paper 2, these are found in section A of your paper 2. And of course, your last one, your grammar cloze, is found in section B. Okay, your MCQs are all in section A. So you need to know your exam paper very well. You need to know where are the different components. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna move on. Right. So the learning objectives today: grammar MCQs, vocab MCQs, and then your grammar cloze, set 1 and 2, which is actually part of your homework. If you have done it, I think you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So let's go through your grammar MCQs first. Okay, first question: where dash you yesterday? Marcus asked. Okay, so in this question, you know that it's a direct speech, right? How do you know it's a direct speech? Because of the quotation marks here, right? Open inverted commas. Okay, so the key thing here is usually I think in school they say, okay, if it's a quotation, if it's like a dialogue, usually it's in present tense because you can just immediately say, like, for example, Rakshan, please go home after school. So go is a present tense, right? But in this case, okay, you have to consider this word here. Yesterday. Okay, so the moment in direct speech, okay, they have given you the time, right? In this case, it's yesterday, so therefore it has to be in past tense. Okay, so which one do you think it is?
Were.
Past tense. Were, okay. So because yesterday means it's, oh, sorry, this one is yellow. Maybe I'll change to another color. Too light. Okay. So yesterday basically suggests it's past tense. Okay. So you decided that the answer is were. So past tense can be was or were. Why not was? Why didn't you choose was?
Because you is a special noun.
Mm. Okay, so in this case, you is a pronoun whereby the um we will use were, okay, even though it's like a singular pronoun, but we when we choose the verb, right, subject verb agreement, it has to be present tense. All right. Okay, so this one, the answer is D. Oops, sorry, this one. Okay, so D. All right. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. I could not lift the box. Okay, so one thing to take note, could not is a modal verb, right? Could not. Okay, so when there's a modal verb, like for example, could not, should not, shall not, would not, will not, okay, all this, the verb that follows is always in its base form. Okay, base form meaning no ed, no past tense, no ing. All right, it's just the base form. So lift, lifted, lifting, right? All this lifted, lifting, no, but we will use its base form. Okay, the verb is in its base form. Yeah, so I could not lift the box as there were two what books? Okay, so
See?
books is countable, right? You can count 1 book, 2 books, 3 books. So since it's countable, which one should we choose?
Too many. See?
C, very good, Rakshan. Okay, so C, because it's countable, so many. When we will use much when it's uncountable. Can you give me an example? Yang Hao, I see you mouthing something up, but I can't hear you. Can't hear you though. I think that might be something wrong with your speaker. Mm, yeah.
Water,
Okay.
too much water.
Yes, Rakshan?
Water,
Water. Yes, there's too much water. Too much money, right? Money is considered uncountable. Who wants to have too much money, right?
too
So
much
in this,
pen.
that's right as well. Okay. So I could not lift the box as there were too many because books is considered countable. Yeah. Okay, gonna move on to the next one. Okay, all these are your grammar MCQs, and again, just to highlight, they can be found in your section A of your paper too. Okay, the children. Okay, the children what basketball when the bell rang. So in this case, if you notice, there are a few clues that we can use. Okay, the children, right? Children is considered singular or plural?
Plural. Because
Okay,
singular is child.
very good. Okay, the singular is actually child. So children is considered plural. Yeah. So the children what basketball when the bell rang. Okay. So when
Nine.
the bell rang. Yeah. So what does this tell us?
This teller is past.
Past tense, right? Okay. Happened in the past. Very good. Okay. So the children what basketball when the bell rang.
Were he playing.
Very good. If you notice, all these are continuous tense. It's just whether they are past or present continuous. So since it already tells us it's past, right? So A and B are out because A and B are present, right? Present continuous tense. Continuous tense means there's all the ing, yeah? So in this case, we'll cancel out the present ones. So was or were. So was or were we'll have to determine based on the subject. So in this case, the subject is children. Children is plural. So plural, we will use were instead of was. So the answer is D. Very good. Okay, yes. All right, I'm gonna move on to the next one. Oopsie, hold on. Okay, next page. Okay, during her oral presentation, Dennis was interrupted by a classmate's question. Okay, so again, if you notice, the clues that we can, sift out from this question would be interrupted. Okay, interrupted basically suggests that this is a past, present, which one? Right, interrupted basically means it's past tense. And then during her oral presentation. So this one is quite straightforward. And of course, another one that tells us some clue would be Denise. Denise is one person, so therefore it tells us that it is singular. Okay, so you have to choose singular verbs. So which means we will then cancel out we will cancel the plural verbs like are and were. Okay, so between is and was, we will then choose the past tense one, right? Because interrupted. So this is correct and this is wrong, right? So in this case, Denise was interrupted by a classmate's question. Answer is C. Okay, I think most of you, I've seen some of your work. I think you all did quite okay for your grammar. Okay, so just to quickly go through it. All right. Okay, question 5. Adeline had just left for work when it what to rain. Now,
It started.
yes, Rakshan is correct. C. Okay. Now, some reasons why, okay, is because had just left, had left. So this is a past perfect tense. Okay, which means still it is generally still a past tense. Okay, so the had just left. Oh, sorry. Yes. Right, had just left. So it tells us it's a past perfect tense, had left, uh, which means it's past tense when it's what to rain. So therefore, this A and B definitely out because these two are present tense, right? So when it started to rain, yes. Okay. Why is it not was starting? Was starting is actually past continuous tense. Okay, so in this case, it just doesn't fit into the question for this one. Are we clear so far? Do you have any questions? I think it's mainly on subject-verb agreement for these 5 questions. Okay, find out the subject, find out the tenses, whether is it past or present. You should be able to get the answer for this one. Okay, all right, we're going to move on to the second segment. Okay, these are the answers, okay, which we've gone through just now. Okay, next one. I think next one is really interesting, right? Vocabulary. Okay, somehow vocabulary is something that you have to build along the way. Okay, if you have a very strong foundation, then and especially so if you read very extensively. Okay, if you read a lot, I think your vocabulary you will have a really large word bank, and it will help you also in terms of writing as well. Okay, so let's just have try to build the habit of reading. All right. Okay, let's play a game. Yeah. Which idiom is this?
Oh, I know. Very easy.
Yes.
Raining, cats and dogs.
Very good. Okay, you have rain, right? So it's raining here. How many cats are there? 2, right?
Two.
So it's plural. So cats. Instead of cat, it's cats. And these, there are 2,
Dog.
okay, 2 dogs. So
The
raining
plus will
cats
be N.
and dogs. Yeah. Okay, so what does raining cats and dogs mean?
It means it is raining very heavily.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, raining very heavily. I'm sure sometimes in your essay writing, you also use this idiom, right? Raining cats and dogs. Yeah. Okay, so one example, there's an example sentence over there. We can't go to the beach. Okay, okay, just to highlight, yeah, this is a contraction. Contraction meaning we can not. When we contract a word, basically we make it shorter by using the apostrophe. Try not to use this in written language unless you're writing a dialogue. Okay, same thing for this one. It's is actually it is. So avoid writing contractions in formal writing unless you're writing a dialogue like speeches. Okay. Yeah. So back to the sentence. We cannot go to the beach today. It is raining cats and dogs. All right. It's a good one. Okay. Next one. Which idiom is this?
I don't know.
Okay. What do you see in the image? You see
A dog
a dog. Yes. What is the dog doing?
barking at a tree.
Yes, yes, okay. You see a dog barking.
Is that
What
is
else do you
that
see?
barking? There's a mouse behind him.
Okay, it looks like a mouse. It looks like I think it's a squirrel as well. Okay, you can see a squirrel, right? So there
Yes.
are 2 trees. Okay, if you notice, there are 2 trees, and the dog is barking at the one on the left. So what does that tell us? Instead of the one with the squirrel.
It tells us that the dog is blind. It
The dog is
knows that
blind.
there's a squirrel
Oh,
somewhere here, but it don't know which side is it. So it's blind.
yeah, okay. It might be blind. Yes, I think it's a very